There's this guy named... Rest in peace also to another legend who really does not belong in this company.
But they are of the same notoriety.
I don't know about David Lynch died at 78. He's a 78-year-old man. It's not surprising that he died necessarily.
Yeah. Known for similar things.
I think there's been...
He made the Dune first movie. Not initially exposed.
And for that, I feel like he deserved to die.
That's crazy.
The movie is really bad.
I tried watching it.
The movie's horrible.
Did he write it?
No, he just
made
whatever.
It.
Fucking
he was gonna direct. You know the story about him almost directing Return of the Jedi? Do you know what that story?
That would have been
insane.
Would it have had the same like stuff in it with the Ewoks and all that shit still been in there?
I mean, yeah, it would have been. The script exists,
dude,
but
the Ewoks would have been like fucking probably monstrous.
Dude, it would have been terrifying.
He would have
like
fucked
he
them
tells
up.
this story about like how like George Lucas wanted him to direct the movie, and he was like, I guess I shouldn't meet him. It's George Lucas. You know, like why would I not take a meeting with George Lucas? And he like takes him to like a Ferrari ride, and he takes him to like a salad restaurant that only serves salads. And David Lynch is like, I don't want to fucking eat a salad. And then he takes him back, and he's trying to explain like Wookiees to him. And David Lynch is like getting a headache. He's like freaking out, like looking at this Wookiee.
I think I heard that part.
He's
I remember
having
him
a fucking episode.
Dude, I'm not even joking.
What is that?
This is all real. This is all like he tells this story, and it's so funny. And he was like, George, you should direct it. I can't do this. This Wookiee's giving me a heart attack. I can't do it.
George, I'm having I may be really calm right now. I'm having a severe panic attack from seeing that Wookiee.
Isn't that the reason why because I feel like I'm starting to remember parts of that story that people were really surprised that David Lynch took on Dune.
Yeah.
Because like I think he didn't really want anything to do with shit like that, and then he did something that's kind of adjacent to it. You know?
Yeah.
Dune is so like that. Dune is such a like. I like them. I like the books a lot, but they're like so heavily like they're so anti-America. They're like so anti-America in the way you make those movies that like I feel like you have to be super politically involved to give a fuck about those things. Like I don't think an American can make a Dune movie respectfully.
I thought it was about worms.
Worms are involved.
It's about dunes, right?
I don't know what the fuck Dune is.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's about dunes.
I still haven't seen that movie.
It's literally just it's a movie about dunes.
It's a movie about Middle Eastern people.
They bring fucking ATVs. And then they go fucking...
They go in space and they ride on worms and dunes.
And they find space dunes. That's it.
It's just that scene in Napoleon Dynamite where the grandmother goes over the dune in the fucking ATV and breaks her fucking body.
So
Uncle Rico's in fact in Dune.
Quick little plot.
No, he's not.
Well, I thought you meant the actor.
Uncle Rico.
No, I thought you meant the actor. I didn't think Uncle Rico was chilling in Dune.
This is where we get the lore about Uncle Rico being so tremendously powerful. It's from Dune.
He threw a football over the dunes.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact, Uncle Rico could have thrown that football that far. He just didn't. He just never had a chance to do it.
What are you watching that's making you say fun fact so often?
I don't know. I don't know why I say fun fact.
He's been saying it a lot lately.
You got it from somewhere. What is going on with this guy?
Look at him, man. He looks like his eyes are frowning.
Like, I don't know what... You know how usually when you see...
David Lynch would create a character. That's a David Lynch character.
This is a David Lynch
That's
character.
a David Lynch character.
He's definitely a Dune character.
He's like the... What is his name?
Dune-ish.
The Arcanon? What is his name?
Harkonnen?
The
Baron
Harkonnen, like, just before he went bald or whatever.
Like, me. I'm sorry, man.
It's me.
That's what he sounds like. Sorry, Mom.
So gross. And I can't tell what he's. You know, usually when you see women with plastic surgery, I'm like, oh, you did this, you did that. You can kind of have an idea. I'm not sure what he did.
He walked into the plastic surgeon and he was like, "What do you want?" And he went, "Yes."
He surprised me.
Yes,
surprised me. I'm not too like a haircut where you just try to experiment. Yeah, like fucking whatever. Yeah, give me whatever.
Surprised me.
I just needed shorter.
Every needle in his face, fucking drills stuff and fucking pulls his shit back and stitches them together.
He laxes his face, puts his hands under his eyelids, yanks hard on the muscle of his cheekbone, and is like, oh.
He's pulling as hard. He has his feet on his chest, pulling as hard as he can to stretch them out.
Oh man.
Could you go a little harder?
Yeah.
It's not enough. So David Lynch.
Yeah, so rest in peace, David Lynch. Twin Peaks, a bunch of iconic stuff. He did like I remember he did a crazy PS2 ad, like a long time ago, obviously when the PS2 was new. Really, just weird guy. I love him specifically, like not just because of his like stuff, but like I love his like interviews and the way that he talks to people. There's all this like one of my favorite things that he's ever done was like him like. Do you ever see him crashing out where he's like talking to the camera about like, don't watch a movie on a fucking iPhone, you fucking idiot. Like he's berating the audience for like watching movies on their iPhones.
I never
it's
saw
just like
that.
you're not getting the fucking experience if you're watching it on a phone, you dipshit. He's like angry, but it's like it's awesome.
I never saw that.
It's so fucking funny. That was like the first thing. That's the first thing that I saw of his, and then I started watching his movies.
Have
His movies are crazy.
Have you heard any of his music?
I know that it exists. I haven't heard any of it.
So he has.
I know. I saw an interview that he was given in France.
Yeah.
Where he was like filming a music video for one of his songs, and he had like no shirt on. He was caked in mud, and there was like a nude model behind him. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fucking working on something."
So anyone who's listening right now, if you hadn't heard his music, go listen to Crazy Clown Time. It's
did you see the
fucking insane.
Did you see the cartoon he did where it's like a guy getting thrown through a window and then farting?
No, I have not seen that.
Like David Lynch is crazy.
He is,
but it's like it's the best. I don't know. I was genuinely surprised because I just figured like I know he's old, but it was kind of like he's kind of like a Bowie kind of figure where like I just kind of assumed that he would be around for a long time.
No one saw. That's why I guess that's why this hit hard, right?
Yeah,
He's old, but people were like, "What the fuck?" Like David Lynch died. Like, you did. I thought it was gonna be like Scorsese. He's just Scorsese's ancient. And how old is he? He's fucking.
I thought he was gonna be like Larry King.
He looked. Yeah. And Larry King we were all at peace, like, whenever he died.
I realized he died. Just that. I forgot that he died.
He died.
I died.
But, like, it was one of those things to where, like,
fucking xenomorph
it
ass
didn't matter. Yeah.
I met him. Did I tell you that?
You told me you met him once.
Yeah.
His fucking head was this, like, at his belly
His
button.
head is... He's like
How'd it get so fucking
he's
far
like,
down?
Do you remember... do you remember Evil Con Carne?
No, what's
Yes,
that?
How like
Grim
the
and
how
Evil?
like the how like the
brain?
the stomach was in the center and it had like it was talking.
Oh.
That was like him, or like Kingpin from Spider-Verse, where he's like his head is like lower. Man, I've never listened to Crazy Clown Time.
Yeah.
I should check
It's
that
basically
out.
him and falsetto just saying random shit. Polly, blah, blah. It's fucking nuts, dude.
It's insane.
It's insane.
He's genuinely crazy, dude. There's a show called Gravity Falls, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like a popular cartoon. It was significantly after my time, but it's very heavily. It's heavily based, like not based, but like very obviously clearly inspired by Twin Peaks, like a lot of things are.
Yeah.
And they initially wanted to get like one of the characters to be voiced by David Lynch, and he just didn't. So like they ended up just doing like an impression of him. Apparently, and I didn't know this because no one saw this show, David Lynch plays himself as the bartender in the entirety of the Cleveland show.
I mean, that's some Seth
Just 'cause.
MacFarlane shit.
Just cause.
I mean, that's
It's insane.
It's so random. That reminds me of like South Park when they would get like they got George Clooney to play a dog.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then they got
yeah.
fucking
Or
Jay
like
Leno
how-
to play a cat.
Yeah, or like how fucking what is it? Wild Thornberries had Flea play like Donny.
Oh,
That's
right,
really
that was
Flea?
him. No,
Yeah,
I
that-
remember seeing the behind
yeah.
the scenes of him playing like doing that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I wonder what Donnie's gonna be like when he becomes an adult. That's something I've always wondered. Like, you think he becomes a person, or like,
I think he dies young.
I think
I think he
Nigel,
gets infected.
I think Nigel experimented on him.
I think Donnie is the
I think
kind
so.
of guy that like he's like one of those guys like really like.
If you were Nigel, you would experiment on Donny.
Can
No, I
you feel
wouldn't.
pain?
I wouldn't.
Can you feel what happens if I inject silicone into your penis?
Does it? What makes it? What makes?
Smashing. What does it say? What does he say?
Smashing.
He says smashing.
It was Tim Curry, right? Or like
Yeah,
or
it
an
was-
impersonator or
I
something?
think it was.
Or
I thought it
actually
was
him?
Curry.
Was it Tim Curry?
I thought it was Curry.
I think it was Tim Curry. If
didn't know that.
it's not Tim Curry, it's meant to be.
Meant to
you know
be.
what I mean? It's very clear. It's like the people who do Christopher Walken in shows.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I remember Dave the Barbarian had that where they had like a
such a bitch.
they had like I'm Twinkle the Marvel horse. It was clearly he's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
That was
Twinkle was crazy.
That was a deranged show for Disney. That felt like it should have been like that was like a Billy and Mandy tier kind of.
Yeah, that was clearly why they
like,
existed.
That horse wanted to kill, like straight up.
Yeah.
Like no bones about it. Like it was very clearly alluded to.
At night, I hear things in my dreams.
The voices are terrifying, and it's like this is
like
Disney.
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah,
no, it's not the same kind of.
It's a different kind of game.
It's still killing you.
It's a slightly different kind of game.
It's still but it's a different reason for.
Ooh, speaking of things inspired by David Lynch, did you ever play Deadly Premonition?
Dude, Deadly Premonition is amazing.
It's
because it's so fucking ridiculous. Never
played it.
I remember the coffee scene specifically.
Yeah.
the visions in the coffee or whatever. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
It's guys, go on YouTube and just
watch a playthrough of Deadly Premonition.
Yes.
You will not regret it. It is
fucking
psychotic.
Excellent. It was that was a special time for me when a podcast I used to listen to, Video Game Apocalypse, they would talk about video games, obviously. And I was at work and I was like, I can't fucking wait to get home. It was one of those things to where like you're hearing them go through it and I'm like, this is exactly what I needed in my life. Just the dumbest fucking, because they were talking about games that are terrible but awesome in that way. So and I was just like, this is
so bad it's good.
It's so bad it's good. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. And so that's man, it just David Lynch reminds me of nothing but good times. It like there's markers in my life that he's directly connected to where I was like, that was fantastic.
Yeah. Even his Crashouts are fucking hilarious. Like there's a scene of him directing a movie and then there's somebody asks him, it's like, if you want to cut the scene down, and he goes like, what is it with everybody? Like, who cares how long a fucking scene is? Come on, give me a fucking break. And it's like, he's so fucking funny. But rest in peace, legend. I haven't seen a lot of the stuff. Like, I really only am familiar with Twin Peaks, and I think I saw part of Eraserhead, but I was like,
that movie's fucking.
I was
so
too high
weird.
to watch that movie.
That movie's so fucking weird, man.
I was too high to watch that movie, and I shut it off because I started getting like anxious, so I turned it off. But it's like you said, he just reminds me of like a lot of good shit. So rip legend. Sad that of all the 78-year-olds, we lost that one.
Right. There's definitely some other fucking dickheads that
definitely other people in their late 70s, early 80s that probably should be dead.
That should be dead. That avoided death twice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.